Alright, so today we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting like fractions. By like fractions, I mean any fractions where the denominator is the same. So in this case, the denominators are both 8s, so they're like fractions. So at first we're going to focus on adding like fractions. We have two steps for adding fractions. The first step, add the numerators. The numerators are the numbers that are on top of the fraction. Step 2, keep the denominators the same. So we have our example, 2/8 plus 3/8. The first step, step 1, add the numerators, add the numbers on top. So what is 2 plus 3? That is 5. Then step 2, keep the denominators the same. So we have 8, 8, 8. So 2/3, so 2/8 plus 3/8 is equal to 5/8. So we have 5/6 plus 4/6, and we need to add them together. So remember our first step. First step is we add the numerators together. So if we have 5 plus 4, that is equal to 9. Second step is to keep the denominators the same. So we have 6, 6. Going straight across, that's 6 as well. But now we have 9, 6. I want to write this as a mixed number. By mixed number, I mean we're going to have a whole number followed by a fraction. By doing that, we look at the denominator 6. How many times does 6 go into 9? 6 goes into 9 one time with 3 left over. And the denominator stays the same as 6. So 1 is equal to 3, or 1 and 3/6, which is also equal to 1 and 1/2 if we simplify. So now what I want you to do is to pause the video and try the one below. We have 4/7 plus negative 6/7. So pause the video, try this one, and pause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Alright, so if we have 4/7 plus negative 6/7. Remember, add the numerators first. So 4 plus a negative 6. 4 plus a negative 6 is negative 2. Keep the denominators the same as 7s. So our final answer is negative 2/7. So now we're going to add some mixed numbers. I'll do the first one and you can do the second one. So we have 2 and 3/8 plus 3 and 7/8. So the very first thing we can do, we could just take the whole numbers. We could take 2 and 3 and just add those off to the side. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So we're going to put that off to the side. Now let's focus on the fractions. We have 3/8 plus 7/8. So 3/8 plus 7/8. Add the numerators to make 10. Keep the denominator the same. That's 8. So now we have 10/8. Now we need to make that into a mixed number. So 8 can go into 10 one time with 2 left over, and we have keep the denominator the same. If we reduce this, that is equal to 1 and 1/4. So now we still have this 5, and now we have 1 and 1/4. If we add those together, 5 plus 1 and 1/4, that is equal to 6 and 1/4 would be our final answer. So now what I want you to do is to pause the video and to try the expression off to the right. Alright, so if we have our whole numbers, we have 1 and 4, we can add those together off to the side, and that is going to equal 5. So now if we have 3/4 plus that's equal to 6/4. If you write that as a mixed number, you have 1, 4 goes into 6 one time with 2 left over. If you reduce that, that is 1 and 1/2. So if we have 5 up here, and if we have 1/2 from 3/4 plus 3/4, so 5 plus 1 and 1/2, that is equal to 6 and 1/2. And this is our final answer. So now we're doing some subtracting. This is kind of basically the same exact thing as adding, but now we're going to subtract. So step 1, subtract the numerators. Step 2, keep the denominators the same. So step 1, subtract the numerators. 3 minus 9 is equal to -6. Keep the denominators the same. 10 straight across. If we reduce this, it's equal to -3/5. -3/5 is our answer. So now we have this example. We have 3/9 minus 4/9. So remember, we subtract the numerators. So 3 minus 4 is equal to a -1. Keep the denominators the same. Just go straight across. So our final answer is 1/9. Is -1/9. So now what I want you to do is to pause the video, try the one at the bottom, and unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. So if we have 7/8 minus 3/8, so subtract the numerators. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. Keep the denominators the same, go straight across. We would have 4/8, but we need to simplify it. 4 and 8 are the greatest common factor is 2, so divide both by 2. So we would have 4/8 is the same as 1/2, and 1/2 is our final answer. Alright, so we're going to subtract some mixed numbers with regrouping. Just going to warn you, this gets a little tricky. So let's look at what we have. We have 3 1/4 minus 1 3/4. If we just look at the fractions. We have 1/4, and we want to take away 3/4 away from 1/4. We're going to need to replace that 1/4 with something else, because you can't take away 3/4 from 1/4. So let's look at 3 1/4. What does this actually represent? So if we have some boxes, this is 1 box, 2 box, 3 boxes, and we have 1/4 of a box. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 1/4 of a box. So currently what we have are 3 1/4 boxes. But let's change this 1 box into fourths. If we change that 1 box into fourths, we will have 2 whole boxes. So we would have 2 whole boxes, and then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fourth boxes. So this, instead of this 1, this turns into 4 fourths, and we still have this 1 down here, which is 1/4. So if we add these two together, that would equal 5 fourths. So if we want, we can rewrite 3 1/4 as 2 5 fourths. So now from here, we have 2 5 fourths minus 1 3 fourths. Now we can take away 3 fourths from 5 fourths. So we can pull off to the side our whole numbers. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. And then we have 5 fourths minus 3/4. Subtract the numerators. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Keep the denominators the same. So 2/4, if we simplify that, that is equal to 1/2. So we have this 1 off to the left. So we have 1 and 1/2. So this is our final answer. So now I want you to try it. I want you to pause the video, try this one, and unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Alright, so if we have 9 and 3/8 minus 5 and 5/8, let's look at the fractions. 3/8, you can't take away 5/8 from 3/8. So we're going to need to do a little bit of regrouping. If we do the regrouping, 9 and 3/8 would turn into 8 and 11/8. So now we have 8 and 11/8 minus 5 and 5/8. So if we have the whole numbers, 8 minus 5, bring those down, those are equal to 3. Then we have 11/8 minus 5/8. Subtract the numerators. 11 minus 5, which is equal to 6, divided by 8. Then we simplify. That is equal to 3/4. So if we add this 3 and the 3/4 together, we have 3 and 3/4 as our final answer. So now we're going to add and subtract some algebraic fractions. Don't get freaked out because there are variables in it. So just remember the steps that we're working with. So this first one, we have 2x over 10 plus 4x over 10. Remember, what is our very first step? Add the numbers in the numerator together. So 2x plus 4x. If you have 2 x's, and then if you add 4 x's to it, you're going to have 6 x's. Remember, second step, keep the denominators the same. So that'd be 10. This could be reduced because just look at the numbers. If we have 6 and if we have 10, both of them are divisible by 2. So if you divide both by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And bring along that x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer is 3x divided by 5. So now what I want you to do is to pause the video, try the one at the bottom, and then unpause the video to see what I've done. Alright, so if we have 3y divided by 7 minus 5y divided by 7. So, same exact steps. Subtract the numerator. 3y minus 5y is equal to a negative 2y. Keep the denominators the same. It's equal to 7. Now that's 7. So, this cannot be reduced, so our final answer is negative 2y divided by 7.